Chris, what is our second main topic today?
This one comes from Steven. Greetings, John and friends. I just read from Deadline that Amsterdam from 20th Century Studios has been moved up from November 4th of 2022 to October 7th. At the very least, it'll no longer have to compete with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever on November 11th. What do you make of this change?
Normally, it's not a huge deal when a movie moves a couple of weeks. Now, normally we make a bigger deal out of it when it's like, oh my God, this movie just moved from May to October or something like that, like when it's months and months and months. This is a small move, but I'll tell you what, it's a good move. And I think it's good news too, and here's why. When we saw the big full feature they did for this thing at CinemaCon, and it was really the first look that any of us had to have a look at it. And it looked amazing, and we all loved what we saw. This thing looks like it could be really good. But man, when you are putting it really close to what very well might be the biggest box office film of the year, a movie that could potentially surpass Top Gun, maybe, that's Black Panther. It's going to be really, really big. How big? Not sure, but it's going to be big. And if you're going to open up your movie just a few days before Black Panther, and you know your movie's going to have a certain window to actually have a thriving chance at the box office where Black Panther comes up and gobbles it all up, you might not love that child so much. By moving it out, number one, it's smart to move it away. But the second thing it tells me, by them moving it to October, it tells me that they actually believe in the film. They think this movie could actually do business. They believe people may actually come out and see this. And they've certainly stacked it with the cast. This comes to us from the folks over at Deadline who write the following about this movie. For those of you who don't know much about Amsterdam, Disney is filling the desert that is left at the fall box office by moving up New Regency / 20th Century's David O. Russell movie Amsterdam to October 7th. The pick was previously scheduled to open on November 4th. The movie, which received the name and title and dropped a trailer at April CinemaCon, is set in the 1930s and follows three friends who witness a murder, become suspects themselves, and uncover one of the most outrageous plots in American history. The Russell-directed, written, and produced film stars a murderer's row of talent, including, listen to this lineup, Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, Robert De Niro, John David Washington, Chris Rock, Andrea Riseborough, Anya Taylor-Joy, Michael Shannon, Mike Myers, Taylor Swift, Zoe Saldana, and Rami Malek. What?
Yeah.
It's like, what? You want to talk about directors people want to work with. People, listen, I've heard a lot of stories about David O. Russell, but the fact, whatever stories you think you've heard, all the actors want to work with them. They all
keep coming back to work with him.
And this is absolutely Murder's Row, and the movie looks great. So yeah, I think it's, from a business point of view, it's smart to get it a little bit further away from Black Panther. But number two, to me, it shows that if they didn't believe in this film, just leave it where it is. And Black Panther gives us our excuse as to why it didn't do so well. No, they put it to a place where it is going to have the chance to succeed. I think that tells me they have some belief in it. Aaron, you saw the footage for Amsterdam at CinemaCon. We all loved what we saw. What do you think about the move?
It's actually surprising in a wonderful way, because I just assume, the trailer was really exciting and fun and interesting, but for some reason, I just got the impression that this was going to be one of those awards darlings that was going to kind of fly under the radar. When it first got released, they would do a theatrical release, maybe even a limited theatrical release so that it could qualify for the Oscars, and then it would, really get a big resurgence. Everybody would be talking about it in Oscar time. It would get nominated for, costumes and, performances and cinematography, etc. And then all of a sudden everybody would be like, oh my God, what's this Amsterdam movie? And they would re-release it in the theaters, and it would then have its moment. But for them to move this up, they're clearly saying, no, in addition to being what we believe will be a critical and awards darling, we think this movie can actually make money. And the plot itself would not give itself to that. Period pieces are not notorious for being big cash grabs.
Period piece murder mystery.
Exactly. However, I think that given the murder mystery success of Knives Out, and this kind of has, even though it's not the same, the fact that it's a wild, zany, caper that ends up happening, and I believe it's based on a true story.
I have no idea.
Okay, then don't. I didn't say that. I think that they're potentially banking on the success of Knives Out and the surprise interest in that film, and using and hoping that that's going to help people, be interested in going to the theater for this. So I think it says nothing but wonderful things. Do we know what's coming out that weekend that it would be competing against?
Not much. Not much has been opening up, and that's been part of the thing we've been talking a lot about, is the fact that, after Bullet Train came out, nothing really significant, all respect to Beast that comes out this weekend, nothing really big is coming out for a while.
Yeah.
So they're going to get a pretty wide playground in there.
And unlike the movies that we were talking about, I know that for the Christmas holiday, we were talking about Sonic 3 and Avatar coming out at the same time.
That's 2023.
Right, but still, we were talking about them coming out so close, but they're coming out during a long holiday weekend, whereas early November is not into the holiday season enough to where people are going to want to have multiple reasons to go to the theater. So I think it's a great move by them, and it makes me even more excited to see this movie, knowing that, they believe in it that much.
Chris, what do you think?
I mean, I appreciate, first of all, Steven saying that this movie was going to compete possibly with Wakanda Forever. Nothing's competing with Wakanda Forever.
Yeah,
right.
Nothing at all. So I think this is a very, very smart move. Bless you, Jonathan. I think it's a very, very smart move to move this, especially because we see movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once that are unique, original stories that end up having great legs and doing well because of word of mouth. This looks super fun, and it is based partially on a true story. Apparently. Some of these things actually happened, is what they say about it.
Is that what it says?
Yeah,
some of these things
are actually
happened.
true, which I think is really, really cute and tongue-in-cheek. But you've got this great cast. You have a story that seems very, very fun and interesting. So I think pushing it forward just speaks to how much people believe in this. And I'm so glad you brought up the awards darling factor of this, because when we watched this at CinemaCon, it was, oh, thank God there's going to be some levity and fun when we have our series of hard-to-watch movies. Mm-hmm. Because when we're doing our SAG Award votes, it's just a bunch of movies, typically, where this is really hard to watch. This is painful storytelling that is beautiful and profound and important, but it is hard to watch. And I love when people have fun in movies. I'm excited about this.
All right, guys, question is for you. Have you been looking forward to Amsterdam? If not, why? Because this looks really good. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. We want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Manscaped. Now, guys, I love Manscaped. You've heard me go on and on about the Lawnmower 4.0 and that body wash. I love it so much. And so we got to ask, guys, have you started your spring cleaning yet? The carpets need cleaning, the drapes need dusting, and your lawn needs mowing, gentlemen. And you guys know Manscaped is more than just one product. They have a whole lineup of products to help you guys feeling, smelling, and looking your best. And so Manscaped is proud to present to you the Performance Package 4.0, which is the only tool that you need to keep your boys looking, smelling, and feeling good this spring. Now, to start off with, you get the Lawnmower 4.0. Guys, we have talked about this. What is wrong with us? Why have we for so long been using these terrible tools that were never meant for cutting our hair down there? The razor clipper things on our electric razors. That's barbaric, guys. You need the Lawnmower 4.0. And then there's the Weed Whacker. You guys have heard our own Ray Ora talk about this thing. He loves using it to get that hair in your nose and the ear hair. And then they offer lots of other stuff like the Crop Preserver. It's an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. The Crop Reviver. It's a spray-on toner for your balls. And of course, they've got the perfect grooming tool for your face with the Plow 2.0, the perfect razor for the finest shave on that face. So guys, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code CAMPEA. That's CAMPEA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the promo code Campea at manscaped.com. It's time to throw out your old hygiene habits and upgrade your life.